everybody, and welcome back to Take It to Dallas podcast. I'm Elijah, rep in Ohio. This is Zachary Tate Robinson, and this is Thatcher recreating the Titanic submarine crash.
Oh, hope you guys had
PlayStation controller broke. Controller player.
Oh, okay. So last week we discussed.
If they were on keyboard and mouse, they wouldn't have crashed.
Last week we just
They should have used a wired controller.
wire control. Last week we discussed the recaps of NBA Finals and Stanley Cup Finals, as well as we went over some trades involving Porzingis to Boston, which officially went through. Such a weird trade. I think it was a horrible trade.
For everybody. Other than the Grizzlies.
We went over a lot of soccer last week with transfers and biddings. There's been more transfers and biddings as well. So I'll let Elijah and Thatcher cover that because they know more than me because I've been paying attention to my social media all week. And then, some more trades have been down in the NBA this week and last week, which I think we'll start into first. So CP3 is heading to the Warriors. Such a horrible trade.
So bad.
So, yeah, and they're sending Jordan Poole to Washington.
I think Washington are the only winners here.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, I think Washington were the only winners in the Porzingis trade too. Tyus Jones is a really good player.
They were losers in the Bradley Beal though, because they got Chris Paul, which they then traded. But
I don't know. I'd call that a win. They got Jordan Poole, and when it was all said and done.
true. And then they finished with Tyus Jones too. So.
Yeah, but the Warriors have to pay for Poole still in some way because he's got a giant contract.
Yeah, they still owe him money.
Yeah.
I don't know. Like Chris Paul, I'm just saying, like Chris Paul to the Warriors is not going to work.
No, and either he starts a point, Curry at point, shooting guard, and Clay at small forward, which won't work.
Well,
because...
and what's so stupid to me is that the league is trending towards bigger and younger, and they got older and smaller.
Exactly.
Like, how is that going to help?
None of the fact they traded Wiseman during the season before the deadline.
Yeah.
So
I think that was a necessary trade, though.
Yeah, because Wiseman's injury prone right now. But either you get him as a starter or you get him as a bench player. 6 man off the bench, just kind of like how Jordan Poole was.
Yeah.
So that kind of was a pointless trade.
Well, and he's always he's proven to be injured at like the most important times. So you definitely can't start him. You can't trust him to start. So he's gonna come off the bench and do you trust that either? And they still need to get a big. They're way too small. And they're probably gonna trade Draymond.
No, I think Draymond.
He's a free agent, I thought.
He's a free agent.
Oh, well then he'll resign. But
he's gonna resign because
I do think that there are other teams that will try to get him, but I think he'll probably resign.
Well, yeah, he's talking with other teams, but there was a choice between Poole and Draymond, and obviously they're gonna go with Draymond.
Yeah.
So.
It's just bad
agree.
trade.
Bad trade. Bad trade indeed.
Wizards front office is kind of popping off.
Well, yeah, it just sucks that they can't keep Kuzma. Can you imagine if they could have had Poole, Kuzma, and Tyus Jones? That's a good core.
Yeah, I mean Kuzma's coming to Cleveland, so it doesn't really matter anyway. But I think if they add a few more pieces in free agency, they're a playing team. So.
Yeah.
Sucks to suck for them. I think that's just the stupidest trade ever.
I just think it's just I think, first of all, I don't know. It just doesn't make any sense to go from the Suns where it wasn't working to the Warriors where it's not going to work. I think it would actually have been beneficial. I mean, I know in the end they got Jordan Poole, which I think is good. But I think it almost would have been more beneficial to keep him in Washington. Because, do you remember what he did in OKC and how he led, that team of, young kids? I think that could have helped bridge the gap for a little bit, but then they wouldn't have Poole. But still.
Yeah, they need I think they were – I mean, I personally like Poole. I think he's a
I like
player.
Poole too, yeah.
And also, I mean, bro, Mia Khalifa is a Wizards fan. He's going to pop off every night. You know what I'm saying? So
Oh man.
but I think Washington kind of got, I mean, in the end, it worked out for them. They made it work by getting rid of Chris Paul. But really, Bradley Beal kind of screwed over Washington because we saw what the Heat were giving them, and then they had two other offers, from the Kings and the Bucks. So he chose I don't think he chose the best option for
Yeah.
Washington,
Well,
or
you
the best
basically
option for
think
Or he
too,
just
like,
or he just wants a free ring so he can
Well,
retire.
he's
but
not
he won't
getting
get
that. He's
one.
not getting that in Phoenix. He's not getting that in Phoenix.
I think basically you just have to think of it as you got Bradley Beal for Jordan Poole and Tyus Jones. Do you think that's fair? Like that's basically that.
100% fair. Plus
Yeah.
picks. They have a lot of picks
Right.
now too.
I think the Wizards are going to be like the Thunder too, where like 5-6 years from now they'll be good because they have all these players that they've been able to get and develop and stuff. But
And
um,
I like getting players on, decently long contracts. I know Jordan Poole it's a hefty one, but he's young
right.
and he can develop into their system despite how bad their coach is.
Yeah.
Just gave you guys the trade details on that CP3 trade. Chris Paul was sent. Washington got Jordan Poole and future draft compensation. So I think it was like 2 future second rounds. I think.
I think so.
Because it
Which
was
you
after
then
the
could
draft.
package if you wanted to.
Exactly. So the NBA draft was last week.
Yes.
Speaking of draft picks, obviously Victor Wembanyama went first. Obviously. Did you guys see when he was doing the photo shoot that he couldn't make shots?
Really?
Yes, yeah.
Yeah.
He didn't make a he was a brick and everything.
Yikes.
Brandon Miller went 2. I think that's a great pickup for Charlotte.
I think it's great, but do you know that the Charlotte fans weren't happy with it?
Bro,
No.
I'm gonna call it right now. He's gonna be the biggest bust of this draft.
Whoa.
Really?
Mm-hmm.
You don't
I
think
think he
Wembanyama is going to
fits.
be the biggest bust?
No, because
Wembanyama
here's
is a
the thing.
generational talent.
I don't think he's a generational talent because we've seen Bobo. Bobo
Sure.
has a similar thing to Victor Wembanyama.
Yeah, but Bobo is coming off the bench though.
Yeah, I
And
know.
Wemby has been more productive and he's been more hyped up. So I think that there's hype for a reason.
But here's also the thing, right? People are comparing him as the greatest prospect since LeBron James. Okay. But there's no way he's going to be able to live up to LeBron James.
No, you
There's
can't
way.
live up to that.
So I think no matter what he does, unless he has a Michael Jordan-esque career where he's winning finals left and right, winning MVPs, such and such.
Which he's got to get to the playoffs first because
Yeah.
the Spurs are shit.
He's never going to be able to reach the expectations that everyone has for him. I think he could still be a great player, but he's going to be a bust in a lot of people's eyes just because they're putting such pressure on him.
Yeah.
So I kind of feel bad for him.
Yeah, I mean, but going back to Brandon Miller, I think that was the best pick that they could have made because Scoot to Charlotte would have made no sense because that team is LaMelo's team. So give LaMelo an extra piece to work with. But like I don't know, it just didn't make it. They wouldn't have made any sense. And then obviously Scoot goes to Portland, which now leads everybody to think what's going to happen with Dame Lillard.
Yep.
Yeah.
And we'll get into that too.
But back to Brandon Miller, I think in a way the Hornets were kind of forced into picking Brandon Miller because he wanted to go to Charlotte, right?
I mean, yeah, but they also
think
need a bigger.
They do need big
They
dudes.
need big dudes.
When I hear him talk, when I hear him, all the things about him, I feel like he's just not like he doesn't
Underwhelming.
Like he's just not a second overall pick in my opinion.
But who would you have taken it to then for Charlotte?
Well, no, that's the only one they really could have taken for their situation. But I think it's not
what they should have done is traded the
they should have
pick,
traded
and then they
the
weren't
pick.
in the position.
Yeah, exactly. They should have traded the pick because I think Scoot is going to be the best out of the big three in this draft. So.
Yeah, Scoot reminds me of like Westbrook Jaw kind of.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
So he might be the biggest star, but he may not like. It's not like who knows.
Yeah.
He's got to shoot though. Scoot does.
Yeah. I think the best, like, I think one of the best players in the draft could be that guy from UCLA that went to the Heat.
Oh yeah,
Jaquez. I think he was
Jaquez.
in a perfect system in Miami. So. And also my boy Jet Howard, who was on my team at the Jordan basketball camp. He got drafted
That's
to
fire.
to the Magic at 13.
So yeah, Scoot went 3. This is cool. Almond and Ozar Thompson, 4 and
Yeah,
5.
they went back to back.
It's like the 5th time, something like that. There's something about it that
Yeah, the last time Twins went back to back was the Morris twins.
That's
yeah.
cool.
Then the Gasol brothers.
Yeah.
That's sick. They're in good company.
Yeah,
Mhm.
that is true. All
And
the
then
Morris
Anthony
twins come
Black went at 6. Bial Colomboli, who was another France player, went at 7. Juris Walker, which I think was also a great pickup, went at 8 to the Wizards. Taylor Hendricks to the Jazz at 9. I also think
That's
that's
a good one.
pickup. That's a good
Yeah.
pickup for the Jazz. You can build around Markkinen and Collins. Oh, that's the other thing we can go over that. John Collins has
Also-
been traded to the Jazz, by the way.
The Wizards actually got Koulibaly in a trade.
Yeah, didn't they
switched.
swap?
They swapped.
with
Oh,
Dallas?
that's right.
Yeah. So
But Indiana. Hold on. I don't know. I'm confused now.
they swapped with Indiana.
And then
I think they-
Dallas swapped with somebody else too,
Dallas
right?
swapped
Dallas
with
swapped
someone
with
too.
the Knicks.
I don't remember.
Something like that.
I was driving in the draft time.
I only turned it on to watch 1, 2, 3, and then I turned it off and then turned it back on when the Pelicans were picking.
Of course you did.
Well, yeah.
Then Brooklyn had back-to-back picks, surprisingly. And then, yeah, I mean, that's pretty much it. I mean, pretty good
the
overall
NBA draft, there's not a lot to talk about other than those top 3 guys, and then now it's just the waiting game of like who's going to be
Who's
the
gonna
diamond in the
develop.
rough.
Because really, when you think about it, there's very few times when a top 10 pick is the best player in that.
Can we
draft.
talk about how horrendous Grady Dick's outfit was?
I thought it was a dub. I thought it was
Why?
It's horrendous.
Because bro, it like was a perfect mix. Like he went to the Raptors. He had the black and red. The red was a ode to Dorothy. I think it was a dub.
I think it's ugly though. Like if he wanted to make a statement, he did that, but the statement was ugly.
Right.
It was so bad.
Good gosh.
It was the turtleneck for me that killed me.
Yeah,
Really?
I'm not a big fan of the turtlenecks, honestly.
Yeah. Did not look good, but yeah. So then I think we should talk about
John Collins. Hold on.
Sure.
This happened yesterday. Just wanted to say this real quick. The Hawks finally traded John Collins to the Jazz in exchange for Rudy Gay, who exercised his $6.4 million player option for the 2023-24 season as part of the deal and a future second-round pick.
No more gay sex and
I know. I was going to say no more gay sex.
But Jazz get another pick.
And they get John Collins, which is going to be good.
Mm-hmm.
for
No,
one
no,
year.
sorry. Atlanta gets a pick. Is Rudy
Yeah.
getting a pick? Sorry.
They only get Collins for 1 year though.
They can extend him.
You think they're gonna extend him?
Well, he's got to prove it.
Yeah, he's got to prove it's a prove it season for him. If he does, then
So-
they'll extend him.
Do you guys think Markkinen moves to the 3 then?
Yeah, or Collins goes to the 3 because he's a little bit shorter.
Yeah, but he's not as much of a shooter.
He's
He's
kind of
more
like
a paint
he's
guy.
kind of like not Miles Bridges, Malik Monk. Like he's got that driving dunk ability, you know. But all right, you guys ready to talk about Dame?
Sure.
It's Dame time, bro.
Dame
It is
time.
Dame time.
Dame time.
So after the day we recorded, it was reported that Damian Lillard requested a trade, and then Portland shut them all down. But now there's speculation that he's going to get traded. So
Which they should.
Which they should. I mean, he's not happy, it seems like.
Well, and I think Scoot's their future, so might as well trade Dame and get stuff and start building around Scoot, and you'll still get a lot of people to go to games.
Mhm.
So I would try. I don't know. I know it's been like the most popular one, but I think he should go to Miami
I think so too.
if they can make it work.
Yeah.
I think Miami would have to send back Bam Adebayo and like first round picks to get him.
They could also, or they could trade like Tyler Hero and like a couple picks or something
think-
like that.
I think
don't
Hero
think
would be
Tyler-
better because he's younger.
But he's not. I don't think he's worth it.
Yeah, but I also have a feeling that Portland might if they trade Dame, they might nice him a little bit, where like they don't expect so much in return that they can't trade him.
Well, there was already talks of them trading Bam to Portland, kind of like the Zion Williamson stuff,
Right.
So I feel like that's not too much since it was already kind of in the news.
I think Dame needs to go to a team that's already almost at the championship level. So Miami, what was that Brooklyn one? Why on earth
Okay.
would he go to Brooklyn?
So there's some hypothetical trades that ESPN posted. First one is Dame to Brooklyn. The Nets get Lillard and Yusuf Nurkic, which I don't know why would you trade Yusuf.
Yeah, why is Yusuf in the trade?
Yeah. Portland gets Dinwiddie, Nicholas Claxton, Royce O'Neal, Joe Harris, 25 first-round pick, which they got from Phoenix. 2027 first-round pick they also got from Phoenix.
Brooklyn, you know what you'd be forming? You would just be forming the Portland Trailblazers in Brooklyn.
Mm-hmm.
Like a team that wouldn't be able to win anything, but Dame would be there.
Yep.
That's so bad.
And then they also
Brooklyn never learns. They never learn.
And then so Brooklyn would trade Phoenix all those picks they got from Phoenix, basically. 27, 29, and 2025.
So useless.
Okay. What's the next one?
Miami. Heat get Dame. Portland gets Tyler Hero, Duncan Robinson, Nikola Jokic, draft nights to Jimmy Jaquez, number 18, 23 picks. I don't know what that meant.
They should do that.
Yeah. 28 first round pick, 29 pick swap, or 30 first round pick.
Do it.
That's a good one.
That's the better trade. And then there's some other ones.
Yeah.
There's more.
Yeah, let's hear.
Paul George to the Knicks. Clippers get RJ Barrett, Quentin Grimes, and Fournier. 2024 unprotected first round pick. 24 Dallas top 10 projected pick, first pick. 25 first round. No.
If this was Paul George, Pacers Paul George, I think, but this is
prone.
Never
I even think injury prone Paul George, but like then you trade RJ Barrett, who's been playing pretty well and is a lot younger, for Paul George to team up with Julius Randle. Like what?
Then I guess you could play Kawhi at the 3.
And then they trade for Spida, maybe, I guess, at that point, if that's what they're gonna do. And then you have Spida, Paul George, and Julius Randle.
Like I think the only way the Knicks get Spida without having to have a bidding war in free agency is giving the Cavs Brunson back.
They won't do that though. They just signed Brunson.
Well, I mean, you gotta do what you gotta do.
Yeah. And then another one was Karl Anthony Towns to New York. T-Wolves get Julius Randle, Isaiah Roby, Jericho Sims, 2024 first round pick, 26 first round pick, 28 first round pick, which is the top 5 projected.
That is not worth half of that.
What?
No.
Wow.
Is this is ESPN, right?
Mm-hmm.
I do think that who is doing it? Does it have the name under?
No.
It's probably that one guy who is horrible.
There's a reason they don't have the name under it.
Yeah, probably. Okay, what's the next one?
And then this last one's a 3-way trade for the Lakers, Raptors, and Wizards.
Oh, for Van Vliet, right?
For Van Vliet. Lakers give Van Vliet. Toronto gets Tyrese Jones and Mo Bamba. Wizards get Malik Beasley, 2030 first round pick from the Lakers, which is a top 10 projected. Otherwise, a 2030 Lakers second round pick.
I think the Lakers win that trade, though.
Yeah, the Wizards get fleeced in that trade. Malik Beasley is nowhere near Tyrese. And a 2030 pick, bro, the world might be ended by nuclear war by that time. That pick might not even happen,
Yeah, that's the one thing I never understand about the NBA is the fact that they trade picks from like 60 years in the future. Yeah.
Did you guys?
I don't know. The only one that makes sense to me is the Dame to Miami. Like out of all of those, that's the only one that makes sense.
Did you guys hear about the trade that the Philadelphia offered Cleveland for Tobias Harris? So they offered Cleveland Tobias Harris, and in return, they wanted Jared Allen, Evan Mobley, and a first-round pick.
That is horrible. Horrible
for Philly. No, I'm just kidding. How could you give up Tobias Harris? That's horrible.
He's a top prospect.
What about the idea of Dame going to somewhere like Boston?
I don't think they can hold his cap space.
unless they get rid of Jaylen Brown.
Yeah, unless they get rid of Jaylen Brown, they can't hold his cap.
But I don't think he's what they need.
I think what sucks is that they traded they already traded Marcus Smart, which I think he was probably their best good trade piece, and they got Kristaps Porzingis. What in
And
the hell?
that's another reason why they probably can't hold him is Porzingis.
Why trade for Porzingis? He's not that good.
Because they need a big man.
Yeah, but you can find him.
Sign Elijah.
Yeah.
Yo.
Save you money.
Yeah.
Porzingis is so out of his prime, it's not even funny.
Yeah. And he's getting what, 35 million?
Can you imagine Dame, Jaylen Brown, and Jason Tatum? That'd be fire.
Speaking of money though, Kyle Kuzma wants 40 million a year.
And man, he did have a pretty good year.
There's
a
no
prove it
way
year.
he's worth 40 million.
I would say like
No,
30.
but
I would
do
say
you
like
think-
25, 30 million max.
But do you think a lot of players in the NBA are even worth that who already make that? No.
No. But I mean, Chris Middleton actually turned down a $40 million player option for some reason. He's not going to get that.
I don't know why he's leaving Milwaukee, by the way.
Because they lost in the playoffs twice.
Okay. He was part of the team that lost.
Exactly. That's why he wants to leave.
Yeah.
Stupid.
This just came in for me. The Sharks acquired guard Mackenzie Blackwood from the Devils for a 2023 6th-round pick.
I don't even know what that means.
That means the Sharks just got a really good player, basically. Actually, I
They
don't
did.
know. I don't know. I haven't seen him play.
Isn't the NHL draft tomorrow?
I think so.
I was just trying to see if there was anything coming up on here. Okay, well, real quick, if you guys, we should all give one team that. How
Yes,
about
it's
one
tomorrow.
team? One team that we think Dame could go to, and one team that you think he should go to, because I think there's a difference there.
Okay.
I think we're
So
all going to say Miami.
I think Miami is one of the two
Mm-hmm.
for me. But
What's the
what's
other one?
another one?
I would say I would really want him to come back to Utah, obviously, because he
Okay,
did
but
play in Utah.
that is not
I
a
know
should
it's,
or a could.
it could happen. We have so many draft
that's-
picks. Why are you guys
that's a-
shitting on me?
That's a no. That's an
You're a
that's
no.
He needs to go to a contender, buddy.
Yeah. What is he gonna like? What he's gonna? I mean, him and Ochai Agbaji. Are
Wow.
going to be the backcourt?
Yeah, because they'd probably have to trade Clarkson or Markkinen or something to get
Clarkson
it.
and Sexton need to leave. Markkinen
Or we
probably
just
would
trade
go.
John Collins.
Bro, John Collins has like no value.
Okay, Zach, give us another team other than Miami. Fuck it, Phoenix. No, just kidding.
No. No. Honestly, dude, could see him going to the Clippers too.
Mm,
What do they give up for him?
Paul George.
probably they give up George or Kawhi.
I think they keep Kawhi because he's younger,
Yeah, but Kawhi's more injury prone, honestly.
bro.
Kawhi is not reliable. And
No. He's not very Kawhiable.
No. I like that.
Jesus.
Okay, so you give the Clippers and the Heat. What about you, Elijah?
I think Cleveland should
Shut
trade
the fuck up.
Cedi Osman and Robin Lopez for Dame.
Shut the fuck up. You're gonna shit on me for getting him back to Utah? Fuck
Yeah,
off.
that's pretty bad.
No, that was a joke, but I mean, Cleveland would be more viable than Utah.
Yeah, but the thing is, they already have Garland and Spida, so
Get rid of Spider.
Get rid of Garland.
Garland? Oh.
Get
Garland's
Dame and Spida, bro.
No. Garland and Spider is way better. Or Garland and Dame is way better.
yeah, but neither of those guys should be playing at the 2. So
Yeah.
Facts. That's, I mean.
is Miami one of yours then, though, for sure? Do
Oh
you think?
yeah, Miami is the one that I think he should go to. I'll name a team from the West as well, just to balance it out. I think, well, the Pelicans. I think the Pelicans.
That'd be fire.
I mean, I don't know
Okay,
how
would you give
they-
up Zion then
Yes.
at that
No.
point?
No.
Bro, what?
Oh my god.
What is it with you? Why are you still holding on to this man?
Okay, so let me explain. Dame has how old is Dame?
What,
30.
31, 32?
Let's see. The only reason being is I don't know how much longer you're gonna get out of Dame. I literally just looked up Dame, and of course it didn't come up.
I could see Dame going to the Bulls too, because they're not. They're
Okay, he's
releasing
32.
Lonzo.
They give up Zach Levine probably.
Yeah,
So what? We think he's got 5 years?
Maybe more, 6 or 7 in this
Okay.
day and age.
Then yeah, I would trade Zion.
Yeah.
Okay, but I think I would trade or you
Zion
said
is a package deal. You get Mariah Mills with her or with them. So
no, because she
did y'all see? Okay, hold on,
She
hold
she
on.
got a
Pause,
tattoo of Zion on her
Yeah,
face.
yeah, right fucking here. This
She's
is
an idiot.
Zion.
he's wild, bro.
I would say okay. The only thing is like okay, I would need Dame, but if you're trading Zion for Dame, you also need to get more than just Dame in the package. I think. Like I think you get Dame and like who are they have who
They
are
have,
those young guys they have? They have Simons and who?
Anthony Simons.
There's one more guy.
I don't know. So here's the
His
thing.
name's on the tip of my tongue.
Would you take? So you're sending Zion and a first round pick to Portland.
Okay.
In return, you're getting Dame and Yusuf Nurkic.
No. I don't want Nurkic.
Why? Who's your center right now?
I'll keep Valanciunas over Nurkic. I don't need to get rid of Zion and get Nurkic
But who's your
back.
power forward?
So we have our starting 5. We have Trey, Herb
You're talking
Jones.
about Kevin Knox the second?
No, it's not Knox.
Bro,
There's
Kevin
another guy.
Knox.
Watson?
He's a guard. He's a guard.
Yeah, it's Simons and somebody
Simons
else.
and one other person.
Tybal? Matisse Tybal?
Yeah. No.
No, they just got Tybal.
Cam
No, it's
Reddish.
somebody else.
There's Cam Red. Oh, Nasir Little.
Yes.
Yeah.
Little.
The thing is so Pel's starting 5, if healthy, would be you'd have BI, CJ McCollum probably running point, and then you'd have Herb, BI, CJ, Herb, Trey, Jonas. That's without Zion, obviously. So that's your 5. So I don't need Nurkic.
But with Nurkic, right, and you get rid of Zion, you have McCollum, you have Dame, Brandon Ingram, Yusuf Nurkic, and Valanciunas.
So here's the only thing that makes me nervous is if you were to trade Dame and you keep CJ, you have a backcourt that already didn't win anything.
But they didn't win anything because they were the only people there. They didn't have that other 3.
But I would send, or you just send, well, who's younger, Valanciunas or Nurkic?
Nurkic.
Yeah, I think Nurkic is younger.
Let's see.
But Nurkic is shorter than Valanciunas, though.
That's why you play him at the power forward.
But then who's our center?
There you
Keep
go.
Valanciunas?
Valanciunas, yeah.
But I want Herb and Trey starting. They're so good.
Who in the world are Herb and Trey? That sounds
Herb
like
Jones, Trey Murphy.
that sounds like a TV show.
They're better than I would argue a lot of
It's just
forwards.
Phineas and Ferb B2.
Trey and Herb are so good. So
Well, have them be your 6 and 7. You gotta have a bench too.
Yeah.
no. If you're offering me Nurkic and Dame for Zion and a first, I'm not giving
That's
that.
wild. That's wild.
Nurkic is not Valanciunas is better than Nurkic, so why would I need Nurkic? And
Cool.
I could keep Larry Nance and he's fine coming off the bench.
I totally forgot you guys had Larry Nance.
So why would I need Nurkic? If I were to get Dame and like, well, I need to see their roster real quick.
Give your 2 teams stature other than Miami.
The Lakers and the Heat. Get AD up out of there. I would say the Lakers because I think he could win a title there within the next couple of years.
Okay.
And he's still a big brand. And if you wanted to stick for some reason with AD forever, then you could have AD and Dame hold it down for a while. With like
when LeBron retires or goes
So then
wherever.
who do they give up to get who would the Lakers
maybe they
give
get rid of Hachimura and
that new guy they just signed for the rest of the season.
Hachimura I would totally take Dame over Hachimura. Like
I would give up AD over Hachimura.
I would give up AD and you give me Nurkic, and that's what I would do.
That's what
Oh yeah,
AD,
yeah. Okay, I like
Nurkic, and
it. I like
Nurkic
it.
and Dame, and give up AD and maybe like a first
Yeah,
or a second or something.
that makes sense.
That'd be fire. Okay, hang on. I need to see their roster.
Did you guys hear what I said? I could see him go to the Bulls too.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I think
I like
LaVine
that.
would be
And you
good.
give up Lonzo and then probably like a couple picks.
Or you give up
Lonzo,
Caruso.
they'd have to give up LaVine because Lonzo may never even play again.
Mm-hmm.
I wouldn't give up Levine then for Dame.
Well, they've been wanting to get rid of LaVine. There was talks with him.
The
Yeah,
only
I mean,
problem
like-
is like because do you think that DeRozan stays for much longer?
He might.
He might if they get Dame.
I think, dude, Dame and DeRozan would be a
Dame and
good
DeRozan
pairing.
would be good.
Fire. Yeah.
Shaden Sharp. Okay. That's who I was thinking of is Sharp and Simons. But okay, hang on.
But
So
like
they have
you would trade Caruso and who's their center? Off the top of my head, I
Vucevic.
can't-
Is Vucevic
Yeah,
still there?
Yeah, Vucevic. I would give up Caruso, Levine, Vucevic. You get Dame, Yusuf
Dame,
Nurkic.
And yeah.
That's what I would do. Oh, Chicago. I would love to see that.
That's pretty fire.
And then Derrick Rose is also going to be a free agent. New York declined his option. So
He
he's gonna
should
be a
just
free
sign
agent.
with the Bulls and retire.
Yeah.
Where do we see Derrick Rose going, if anywhere?
I think if he wants to retire, it only makes sense for him to go to the Bulls.
hmm
You know. But we'll
Yeah,
see.
10.
What?
Sorry, hang on. Bam, 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 bam. Breaking news. Arsenal have submitted a bid worth up to 100 million for West Ham midfielder Declan Rice. 100 million up front with 5 million on add-ons. This comes after Manchester City submitted their $90 million bid yesterday. That is so fun. I'm so hyped, guys.
Okay,
They
but it
said that
hasn't
they
gone
wanted
through yet.
100 up front, and they're gonna get it.
What if City come back with 105?
Arsenal will just go up again. I don't think City will though. To be honest,
They have Arsenal has money too. So
dude. I mean, come on, it's got to happen, right? We'll get into soccer later, but I just
we'll get in after our break. But I was saying like just get Yusuf and Dame together as a package, and you just trade.
yeah, because I
Caruso,
think so. I
Levine.
didn't realize how young Yusuf was. My bad. He's only 28, so he is a good piece. The only thing is like I still will go back to the Pelicans trade where I don't want Nurkic. You could trade like Jonas and Zion and maybe like a second round pick and then get Dame and Nurkic and then maybe like a third round pick or something like that. That could work. I'd be okay with that because I don't want to keep Valanciunas, Nance, and Nurkic if that's the case. Like you need to get rid of one of the three.
I think get rid of Nance out of the three.
Trade him back to Portland.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Seriously.
But
I
I mean, I would be
That dude's
fine
been
with
moving
it, but-
around a lot too.
Yeah, I wouldn't be. I mean, like, okay, I'm telling you right now, though, if Dame in the only player, there are 3 players on the roster who are untouchable for the Pelicans for me: Trey Murphy, Herb Jones, and Brandon Ingram. That's it. Everybody else you can fucking take.
What about McCollum?
You can
Do you
take.
want to send McCollum back to Portland?
I would
think McCollum and Dame and
McCollum, Dame,
Norms.
Bi.
Norms work.
That's
Yusuf.
really good. And then you have
Yusuf
Nurkic,
and
Trey,
Valanciunas.
Herb Jones, Valanciunas.
That's
You know, like
fire.
whatever.
That's
that's a
playoff
good-
team.
And you have Jose Alvarado, who's still a fucking stud off the bench. Like,
That's a playoff team in my opinion.
well, I think with a healthy Zion, they're a playoff team anyways, but healthy Zion. Can you imagine Zion and Scoot? Holy cow.
Ooh.
And
If
Ryan
Zion
Nance.
were to stay
If
healthy.
Zion stays
Yeah.
healthy. Okay,
Um,
2 things.
but real quick
Go ahead.
before we move on, I'm backing the fact that the Pelicans did not trade Zion to get Scoot and that they're going to give him 1 more year. But I think that this is it for Zion. If
This is
he
definitely a prove season.
this is it. Yeah. Like if he's injured again and it just doesn't end well, then I think this will be his last season as a
Now,
Pelican.
here's the thing though. I think that's a risk in a way because it's kind of like 50-50 whether he'll be healthy or not this upcoming season. And so I almost feel like capitalize while his value is still relatively high. Because if he has a bad season this year, he's worth nothing. He's useless.
I
You know
wouldn't
what I
say
mean?
nothing, but definitely not as much as what he could be. I think that you could still get like something for him and something that's like
Yeah,
decent. I
like maybe
mean,
like
look
a
at,
second round
but did
pick.
we think that Kristaps Porzingis would be that you'd be able to get Marcus Smart? Like that whole trade, like, do you think that's what I'm saying is like Marcus Smart ended up in Memphis and they ended up with like Porzingis and a couple picks. Like, I think that Zion would still be tradable because I still think even if he didn't have a great year this year, I still think there are going to be those people that are like, well, he has so much upside, you know? But I would rather have him run it back with one more year, see how it goes, and then, or halfway through, if he gets injured and halfway through the season, you try to trade again. But you have to keep Brandon Ingram.
Yeah, Brandon
That's
Ingram's
Brandon
worth it.
Ingram, and you have to keep you have to keep Herb and Trey. But other than that,
Okay, two things. Where do we think Derrick Rose goes? Because I mentioned it earlier. And what do we think about the John Collins trade? Because I didn't really talk about it.
I think Derrick Rose goes back to the Bulls. That makes sense to me. I don't think any other team, I mean, especially with Lonzo out this whole year, it kind of makes sense. He can slot into that position. And I think that the John Collins trade, uh, I mean, it's just kind of
Who
a
did,
get off the books
did
trade.
did the Jazz win the trade or did the Hawks win the trade?
I don't think
the
anyone won the
Hawks. I
trade
mean the Jazz.
because I think, the Hawks get an old Rudy Gay and a second round pick, and the Jazz get a prove it year guy, you
Yeah,
know. So it's kind of like a mid off trade.
John Collins gives me Utah Jazz vibes, anyways. Like
Yeah,
someone who could thrive in a smaller market and doesn't have to have like massive amounts of pressure.
yeah. So it'll be
Um,
interesting.
I'll say Derrick Rose should just go to the Bulls and retire, but I'm not gonna say he's like washed, but like I think he's done.
I think he's
Like,
better off as a bench player.
Yeah.
yeah, but even at that, like I think we've had the redemption arc. Like he's had really good moments, but I think that it's kind of like
Yeah.
kind
He
of
didn't
time
he
to
didn't do bad last year though.
no, but I think it's kind of time to hang it up.
I think
Yeah.
this should be his last season.
Or he should just go to like Denver and play on the bench and try to win a ring. Something like that.
Yeah, but they're not really a point guard needy team though.
But my point being is he could just ride the bench, come in when he needs to, and hopefully win a ring.
I mean, he
No.
could come back to Cleveland. We're losing Ricky Rubio. So.
Meow, Ricky Rubio. Have you seen that video, by the way? That commercial?
Probably not. I don't know.
It's so
I
funny. It's
don't have the
like
best memory.
it's Ricky Rubio and Rudy Gobert, and they're talking about like cats or something like that. And Donovan Mitchell's in it too. It's so funny. And they're like, it's okay to be a cat guy. And then from like the back of the bus, Ricky Rubio just meows. It's so funny. I'll send it to you guys.
That sounds like the most Utah ad ever.
It sounds like a dream, honestly, is what it sounds like.
Uh,
Bro, I don't even know where Derrick Rose could go,
I don't
to be
think he's a
honest.
Hall of Famer.
Kind
I
of.
think if he wasn't injured, he would be a Hall of Famer. But his career is, I don't know. I just don't think. I think the Hall of Fame has been too
Oh,
loosely thrown
oh,
around.
oh, 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 oh. Dante DiVincenzo is to decline his option and enter free agency.
Interesting.
Interesting. That's probably because of the Chris Paul trade.
Yeah.
But if I could, like, I would argue with you guys, like, going to the Bulls would be the bold move. I get it. Bold, bold. Ha.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, fuck you guys. Um, dude, I don't know where else. You could play his days out in Utah finally because we got him in a
Yeah,
Cleveland
because you
trade.
have the legendary Derrick Rose jersey.
Yeah, he can play his Utah Jazz days out now.
Bro,
Yeah. Him
when
and
you
Russell
think of
Westbrook.
when you think about it, Cleveland and Utah have a really good like relationship with trades and stuff.
Yeah, they do.
And it's in fact so good that
Hey,
we're
but
just
you
gonna
guys,
reverse
you
the
gave us
Donovan
Kyle
Mitchell
Korver
trade.
anyway, so I was totally fine with
We're
it.
just gonna reverse the Donovan Mitchell trade and get back Markkinen and Ochai Agbaji. So thank you for that.
Basically, that would be horrible. Because the Jazz rose the stock of those two players, and the Cavs declined the stock of Donovan. I feel like.
He had his best career year, so I don't think.
Yeah, but I
been
think the
having
way that
good
they ended
years.
in the playoffs, like I think that left a really bitter. I mean, I'm not saying that the Jazz have done any better with Donovan in the playoffs, but like I feel like Donovan's less of a star now than he was a year ago.
He's just not a star in the playoff. And I think he kind of showed that in
Yeah,
flashes of that in Utah, right? He
yeah.
doesn't really show up when
Well, except I have to admit, the years with Utah, he actually played his guts out, and the team around him couldn't do anything. Like in
Yeah.
that Clippers series, like I think per game he's putting up like 30 to 35 points a game, and the team still couldn't win. So,
It's
They
rough.
had injuries too, though, I think.
well, but Kawhi was out for like that whole series, and the Jazz still
Yeah.
couldn't beat the Clippers.
That's
I
true.
think
But they had PG though.
if Cleveland go farther this year in the playoff, I think Donovan might stay because our team there's only 2 players on our team that had played in a previous playoff series. Like that's how young, inexperienced our team was. So I think if we do go far, he'll at least attempt, he'll hear us out at least. But if there's no way that he stays, I think we have to trade him, maybe even in the middle of this year.
Yeah.
That's, get
I think
something
you
for
need
him.
to trade him when he has high stock, though, because I don't think that I know he had a career year, but like I'm just saying, almost sometimes the NBA works in terms of hype, and I feel like Donovan's hype right now is not very high.
Yeah. I mean, his regular season Donovan Mitchell is really special.
Yeah,
You know.
71, bro.
Yeah, 71. I mean, honestly, we should have just traded him after 71.
Does it right after traded.
No, but, like seriously, I would take if he wants to go to New York that badly, I would take Jalen Brunson.
I wish that American sports worked like European football sometimes.
You just bid on a player.
Yeah, just fucking give me money for the player. Rather, I don't want your other players.
Yeah.
Like, that's what makes me so annoyed with American sports. Sometimes people are like, what would you get back in return? Like, 100 million, bro.
Bro,
like,
but the
got all these players.
Major League Baseball can send money too.
Yeah, but it's still less common.
Yeah, like I've never seen a big trade and in return you get like cash considerations or something like that.
Right. Like in the MLS, you get general allocation money, but it's like 200,000 or something like that, and it's like that's not
a lot.
Like, how would that even work with the salary cap though? Like,
yeah, I think that's the problem is that there's not like, I don't know, but like I don't know. I just think it's such a cool story too because like you think about like what West Ham are about to do with whoever they sell Declan Rice to. Declan Rice was free. He came through their academy. He was young. And then they're gonna make $100 million profit off of him. That's insane.
Yeah.
So
I'm just looking at what you sent me real quick.
Oh, the cat guy, you guys should watch that.
No. The Federico Valverde.
You guys should watch the cat guy commercial. It's funny.
We will. You guys got anything else that we need to talk about?
I think we should talk a little bit about soccer.
Okay.
Bro, Arsenal's bid was totaled for $134 million.
Well, $134 million, but 105 million pounds.
That's like that's why that's so crazy, bro. I don't think Rice is worth it, but
yeah, but here's
tax.
So we'll transition real quick. Yeah. So
hold on. Can we take a break real quick?
No.
Okay, we'll take a break.
Okay. We'll see you guys in like 10 seconds.
Okay. Bye.
No.
Oh wait, while you're doing this, watch the freaking cat guy commercial. It's like 30 seconds.
I'm gonna go to the bathroom. That's why I have to take a break.
Okay. Elijah, watch it.
Like, would you I know your answer, what your answer is gonna be. Like, let's say you had Declan Rice, Fede Valverde right here. Same price. Well, who would you take?
Declan Rice.
Declan Rice.
The reason being is that he's prem proven. That's my thing. And I don't think that again, I think we can kind of save it, but I don't think that like Valverde would be a bust. Rice is English proven. So that cat guy commercial is so stupid.
But I will say Harry Maguire was English proven too. And look what happened to him.
Yeah, but I think it's so much different in my opinion. Like, I don't know. Have you seen United's new kit? It's kind of fire.
Oh, what?
Did you watch it?
Yeah.
It's so stupid, but actually so funny.
Oh my gosh. Jeez. Okay.
Have you seen United's new kit?
No.
Okay, I'll send it to you. I think it's fire. Bro, how is it? Oh, Adidas football. It's a separate one. Tell me what you think about it. I still think their sponsors L, but I think the kit itself is a dub.
How did the sponsor get more obnoxious than before?
I know. They made it bigger.
I like the rose pattern. That's pretty cool.
I know. I think it's cool. And did you see how it continues on the black too?
Yeah, that's a dub.
And on the socks are like the black rose pattern.
Yeah, that's a dub kit. Dub kit. Too bad. They're still gonna be trash.
True. Um,
Uh,
if you were to, if like, I know that I said it's still too early, but if you were to predict like a top four in no particular order for next season, who would you put in there? Would you say who I put earlier?
yeah, Liverpool, Arsenal, City, Newcastle.
Yeah. I think
Although I
my
think
problem
if
with United is they're showing no ambition in the transfer window.
yeah, they haven't. I mean, they haven't even. I don't have they even made contact with like Victor Osimhen or anything.
I haven't even heard any links or anything
Mhm.
other than that Rasmus Holland or whatever. That's his name, right? That striker from Atalanta. That's the only one they've been linked with.
Yeah,
And even at that, he's worth like 50, 60 mil. And I'm like, that's not,
it's not gonna. It's not Harry Kane.
dude, I would be so happy if Harry Kane left.
Who would Tottenham get it?
Nobody. They're Tottenham.
I
Maybe
wonder.
Lautaro Martinez.
Ooh, yeah, maybe.
Um,
I gotta take a shit.
um,
Oh, feel so much
all right,
better.
let's wrap up with soccer and then
Baseball.
I need to make food. So this Declan Rice thing has been going on forever.
Wait, did you guys
Manchester.
start without me?
No,
We're just started right now.
we're starting right now.
Welcome back, guys.
There you
Thatcher's
go.
gonna go now.
Zach had to poop.
Zach had to poop. Okay. So Declan Rice, this thing has been going on forever, but Arsenal submitted two bids that were both rejected by West Ham, and then City jumped in and submitted a bid worth 90 million. And then Arsenal just today submitted a bid for Declan Rice that would be 100 million upfront plus 5 million in add-ons. At this point, it says this is from Fabrizio Romano. Arsenal have submitted a new record bid for an English player in order to sign Declan Rice. Arsenal's third bid in the saga and could be a record signing for the Gunners and for an English player. West Ham are waiting to hear back from Manchester City after they had an 80 million plus 10 million add-on bid rejected. So I know, so Elijah and I were talking about this, but like just like a little bit. But my opinion is, regardless of how much money it is, just get it done. Like, if you're gonna spend the 100 million, just spend it and get it done. Because the longer you wait, the longer you take, your other options are gonna be limited.
Mhm.
Why are you so close to the camera?
Just because it's not. I was right.
Because it's because it's really intriguing.
Yeah. So if let's hypothetically, let's say, City come back with 110. Would you rather have Declan Rice at 115 or Barella at 60?
Barella is 60.
Okay.
I think, in my opinion, this is Arsenal's last bid.
Yeah.
I think they're telling West Ham, listen, you have told us. So here's my understanding. I don't know how much you've been following with this, Elijah. Have you been following the kind of like back and forth or no?
Yeah, I know you guys got 80 mil rejected.
So here's what happened. So it sounds like they've been in talks since January.
Yes.
And Arsenal, and at the time, this is what's been kind of leaking out. West Ham said 80 million will get it done.
Mm-hmm.
So that's why Arsenal bid what they did. And it got rejected. And then they bid again and it got rejected. And I think West Ham said, well, since we won our European trophy, that means nothing. He's worth more.
Yeah.
And so I think that's the problem. But now, all we've been hearing for like a fat minute now, is that, anyways, all we've been hearing is that, like, since Arsenal bid, I think their second one, that it's only worth that they're like, well, we'll take 100. So I think West Ham need to be honest now and need to be fair. If you've told Arsenal twice that we want 100 to get the deal done, and they gave you 100 up front and 5 million more, you should just take it. Because I also have heard, which would be insane if this is true, but I have heard that Declan Rice wants Arsenal over City. So what?
I don't blame him.
Which is funny because a lot of people are like, why would you choose Arsenal over City? Like, City have already won everything, bro. What would you go contribute? A quadruple?
And also, he wouldn't. I mean, look at Calvin Phillips
And Rodri too. Like, they have why? Where you? I think they were thinking about putting him into Gundogan's role, but they just got Kovacic. So
yeah, they don't.
So what? Okay, what is your opinion on, like, okay, on this bid, and then like if like what could be coming from Arsenal after? Like, what do you think?
So me personally, I think. I mean, I'm coming from like a Liverpool transfer perspective. I think it's a lot too much money for Declan Rice.
Yeah.
But I think that's a lot, like you said, because they won their trophy, and I also think it's English tax.
Yeah.
So I mean, if you get
Oh no.
100 and he wants to be there, that's fine. That's great. He's gonna what? What happened?
But you're back. You're back.
Okay. I was like, wait.
This is oh no moment.
But I think you guys could just fill your team better with that money. Like Barella for 60, get another midfielder or striker or anybody else for 40. You know, you get two quality players for the price of one. You know.
Yeah. I agree. But my thing is now though is like, I always believe that if your manager, in particular Mikel Arteta at this point, because I trust him, if he wants somebody, just go and get him. Like, because what's going to happen is if they were to lose out on Rice and they got Barella, right? Like, I think Barella's quality. That's awesome. But they're still going to be like, oh my gosh, well, you only got him because you couldn't pay for Rice and like stuff like that. And I think like now's the time, like, just get it done. Like, now, for me, the fact that they improved their bid technically by 15 million more, but it really seems like a lot more because it's 100 up front. This should get it done.
Mm-hmm.
This should. I really don't think that City, again, knock on wood, but I really don't think City are going to come back with more than what Arsenal just put up.
I will say though, if City do come back with more than you guys, I think you guys can be happy in knowing that you guys made City get.
I think so too.
You know. Like they just spent all their money on a guy that won't help them improve any more than they already improved.
And did you know that Arsenal have been linked with Barella? Like it's not like a thing that's like in it that we're just making up. Like
that's why I'm saying,
yeah. So I think that this is it. So I think I bet. I mean, I don't think they'll say this, but they're probably like, "Hey, West Ham, this is it. This is what you wanted, and this is our best offer. Declan wants to come to here. This is it. And if you're gonna say no, we're gonna walk away, and you can sell the City." But
I'm just hoping you guys can hold off long enough so you guys don't jump in the race for Fetty, so we can get him and just get out of your way.
I don't think they will. I think whoever reported that, I think it'll happen if you don't. But watch, City will come in for him or something. Somebody will come in for him. I think if there will not. Valverde is so. For those of you who are like, our transition is way weird, but Valverde from the Uruguayan midfielder from Real Madrid has been linked with a move to Liverpool today for 90 million is what it was.
90 million, which it kind of came out of the blue.
Yeah. So, but I guarantee you that it would not be a one horse race. If people started to find out that you bid for them, then other people are going to come in for them.
Yeah. Unless we lock it up quick.
Yep.
Yeah. But like couldn't you just see Chelsea like, oh, 700 million for him? We'll pay.
I actually could. And at that point, let's just drop out of the race,
Hey, what do
get
you
Kefren Turam, and
now?
then
Thuram just signed um with Inter today.
which Turam?
Yeah, I know. That's why I'm looking it up.
Because Kefren Turam is a midfielder, like a young midfielder.
Well, I get to say in this
Oh,
Arsenal
Marcus
thing real quick.
Thuram.
Marcus Turam is, yeah.
What?
Well, I get to say in this Arsenal thing real quick,
No,
please.
no.
Yeah.
Fuck you guys. Um, So I kind of agree with Elijah. I think Arsenal is a little bit overpaying for Rice, just a little bit. Rice is a good player, but if Manchester comes back and bids, then I would say Arsenal just gets the other guy because you're saving money, and then you can bid on another player who's got the same caliber or whatever position you need, like center back, right wing, whatever,
Right.
right back. So like either way, it's a win-win for Arsenal. But if
Yeah.
Man City gets Rice, where are you going to put Erling Haaland? Like you can't unless they switch up formations, like that stuff.
So, question for you before Elijah says anything, because I could see him getting angry. Do you know what position Declan Rice plays?
Center field, I think. Center middle.
Yeah. Do you know what
Yeah,
position
do you know
Erling
what
Haaland
position
plays?
Erling Haaland plays?
Striker. Wait. I'm getting my positions mixed up.
Yeah. So they could play in the same team. But no, I think that it's a lot of money. And don't get me wrong, like I'm like, yeah, that's a lot. I think it's too much. But I also think like if you want him, go get him and get it done rather than just keep like stalling.
I think
But
80
real
million was
quick,
his true value.
huh?
I think 80 million was his true
Was his
value.
true value.
This
I
is
agree, yeah.
inflated value.
Right. Question for you, Elijah. So Romeo Lavia, the
Yeah.
midfielder, the Belgian midfielder from Southampton,
Yes.
super highly rated.
Yep.
Arsenal and Liverpool are the two teams in for him. Would you be happy if you got Romeo Lavia?
I would be happy. Let's say we don't get Fede. We get Lavia and Kefren Turam. That's fine by me. Right. But if we can't get Lavia, I think we just get Fede. But I'd rather have Lavia
Yeah. Then who?
than Fede.
Really?
Yeah, he's more of a defensive
Well, he's also younger
midfielder and he's
by
younger.
like 5 years.
Yeah, I think we have our offense set. Like
Yeah.
our offense is fine.
Do you think that would you be okay? So let's say, what if this happens? Because it could also totally happen. And like, this is just the way the transfers work now. Let's say Arsenal get Rice and they get Lavia. We spend, let's say, I think the price for Lavia is between 40 and 50. So let's split it 45.
Okay.
Spend 105 on Rice, 45 for Lavia. And then you guys don't get Valverde or Lavia. Then is that when you're like, what the fuck?
Then I'm like, let's go for Barella.
Yeah.
And if we don't get Barella, then I'm like, what is wrong? You know?
Barella. I think the problem is I think a lot of these players really want to play in the Champions League.
Yeah.
And like this is the first year that you guys can't say that can say that you're not in the Champions League. That's so weird.
It is. It's actually really weird.
So no, I mean I think Lavia is a really good player.
Yeah.
The only thing I'm nervous about from an Arsenal standpoint is that it sounds like Granit Xhaka and Thomas Partey could leave. And then you replace it with Declan Rice and Lavia. I'm not sure that that's better.
Yeah. And also,
but I have to say, a lot of people are saying they don't want Thomas to leave. I don't want either Thomas Partey or Xhaka to leave because I think we needed to add Lavia and Rice to what we already had.
Yeah, you don't need to subtract.
I would rather lose Partey and keep Xhaka.
I agree.
Than the other way around.
Xhaka
and it sounds like, oh, by the way, I want to end this soon because I'm really hungry. But okay, so Xhaka is rumored to go for 15 million. That's it. That's ridiculous.
Yeah.
But then, okay, so Thomas Partey, I guess Arsenal were getting offers from Saudi clubs for like 40 to 45, which I still think is actually too low if you're going to sell to Saudi. But Juventus apparently offered Arsenal 15 million for Thomas Partey. That is so disrespectful, honestly, at that point.
I think you take the 45 from Saudi for Thomas Partey. You have Rice, Xhaka, and Lavia as your midfield. I think that's fair.
Well, Lavia probably wouldn't start. You'd have Rice, Odegaard, Xhaka.
Yeah, unless you switch up the formation a bit.
Yeah, you could play 3 at the back or something like that.
Yeah, but
Or
I think
but I think that they need there have the rumors now. I know that people are saying that they're just waiting for Rice to get done, but the Granit Xhaka thing's kind of quieted down a little bit. Like,
it was picking up steam.
and he was just in. I know that. Leave it to Arsenal fans to do this because we do this all the time. But he was just in like this video on Arsenal's Instagram that they filmed like 2 days ago. Why are you putting a player who's supposed to leave? In a video. But anyways, I think they should keep Xhaka and
I
sell
think he's gonna
Partey. If
stay.
you could get 45 for Partey, you're almost losing no money on what you brought him in too.
Yeah.
So,
and I think I'll say one more thing because I know you're hungry. But for Liverpool, our midfield, let's say we got. I don't think Lavia would start in our midfield either.
I don't think you're gonna get all 3 of or all like. I don't think you're gonna get 3 out of the 4 that you've been linked with. I think you might be lucky to get 2, like Lavia, Barella, Valverde, and Thuram.
Yeah, so I think Thuram is probably a done deal for Liverpool. We've been linked to him for a while. I mean, I would be fine with the midfield of McAllister, Trent, because he's officially moved to midfield for England and for Liverpool. And then, I guess Thuram as the third option, if depending on how much he is, unless we get Valverde. But then we need a right back. So it's like we can't spend all our money in the midfield.
In the midfield, if you don't replace your right back, because
our right back, unless we put Gomez, but then we need another backup defender. So it's a hard thing. But anyways.
All right. Well, I think that's just about gonna do it for this week.
Do you have any input on Real Madrid?
Sorry, I went to bed. Dasher sent me this earlier as to our group chat as well, but Real Madrid are set to accept a bid of 90 mil from Liverpool for Federico Valverde, which actually I'm kind of excited about because we're filling in a piece we lost, basically.
No, you'd be selling Valverde.
Oh wait, never mind. Valverde's on my team. Never mind. I'm going back to bed. I don't know my soccer anymore.
He saw the Liverpool jersey on Valverde and he was like, "Oh, we're getting him."
Yeah, we're getting Valverde. So, anyways, all right, guys. Well, that's just about gonna do it for this episode.
LSU won the World Series, by the way, College World Series.
Yep, go Tigers. Thank you guys for watching, and we will catch you guys in the next one.
Yes.
Bye.
Yeah.
Bye.